This is one of the more harder ones for me to get through, but let me tell you a little something not many people know about me. Because there's obviously more to me than the eyes can see. Just give me a second so I can breathe, because this is something I really don't like to talk about. Now, before you cry, just know this is me showing my most vulnerable side, because I am a survivor of suicide. In 2005, I was almost one of the 32,637 people to end their life. And that was nationwide. In my state alone, there was 822. Just let that number sink through. Do the math. That's more than 2 a day. And at 15 years old, I thought my life wasn't worth living. There was plenty of people around, but no one was listening. And here I was giving and giving. Anytime one of my friends needed a vent or needed some advice, I'd be there for them and talk them into putting down their knife, but I myself couldn't handle my own strife. I remember that day like it was yesterday afternoon, sitting in my room, getting high, playing Guitar Hero, thinking about my impending doom, because my mind sometimes is like Edgar Allan Poe, so dark and twisted. When I was a kid, I tried to keep my emotions at a distance, because, that's what men do, right? But little did I know they would always find their way back in. But with a mask on my face, I did everything I could to grin, dancing at a masquerade like everything was totally fine. Never catching on to the warning signs. And I never wanted my parents to know, because how upset and disappointed they would be. I didn't want to add on to the stress put on by the others, you see. So I kept it all to myself, bottling up my emotions and problems, trying not to dwell, but I was at my weakest that night, and the cracks on my shell finally became too much. And when I tied that noose around my neck, I was sure it was going to be farewell. But I fell, right on my ass on the floor. And I cried like I've never cried before. When I fell, I hit my head, and it felt like a Gibbs slap. Like someone trying to get my attention with a hard tap, saying, "What are you doing? Really? When life gets hard, this is what you're choosing? Instead of dealing with your problems head on, you run away like a coward, letting your thoughts devour you so you feel unpowered. Just think of the pain that you're in. Now times that by 10, and that's what the people around you would feel. Hearing what you did, they would think it was unreal, because ending your life does not stop your pain. It only passes it to the next person for them to gain." And I'd like to say that's where those thoughts ended, but they still come to visit me from time to time. Seems to me that they'll forever be trapped in my mind, tempting me when life gets in a bind, but I press on for them. My wife and my children keep me focused on the things I need to. 15 years has passed since that day, and I pray every day to have what it takes to keep going for them. Even though the stress of life has gotten so much greater, my brain is my biggest hater, and when I'm alone it becomes a traitor. I betray my creator and think of only turning my skull into an empty crater. But for them I have to stay this gladiator. But I'm here to tell you that you're not alone in your fight. Your thoughts and feelings don't have to stay out of sight. I know men aren't supposed to talk about their feelings because of society, but men are 3 times more likely to take their own life, and that's with sobriety. We are told we need to deal with our anxiety privately, leaving us in a state of total dubiety. That's being uncertain for those who don't get it. But I digress. But we as men need to progress. I'm not talking about going full gossip girl. But once in a while it's good to unfurl. So talk with your girl or go grab a beer with your bro. Because it might just save your life. But if you don't, you'll never know.